Hello everybody, welcome again to the lecture series on signals and systems. We are discussing about the Fourier series, and in this lecture also we will continue our discussion regarding the Fourier series, and these are learning outcomes of this particular lecture. We will see some problems on the Fourier series, and we will give one important conclusion based upon the signal, time domain signal, how this Cn will be varied. In specific cases we will see, that means how this Cn is related to 1 by n. It may be 1 by n, it may be 1 by n square, it may be 1 by n cube. Okay, how it is related to the, with respect to the time domain signal, we will give one important conclusion regarding that. That is our one of the learning outcomes. Then we will see the Parseval's power theorem. Okay, generally already we have said that this particular Fourier series is applicable to the periodic signals, and all periodic signals are power signals only. So how much amount of power is available in one particular signal, already we have seen in our first unit case, that is given by limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral over 1 period modulus of x of t whole square into dt. That is the formula can be applicable to calculate the power when you have the x of t signal or f of t signal. That means when you have time domain signal, then you can able to calculate the power of that particular signal by using that particular formula. But when you have the Fourier series, that means when you have the Fourier series coefficient also, you can able to calculate the power involved in that particular signal, even you don't have the time domain signal. If you have the coefficient, you can able to calculate. That relation was given by this particular theorem, Parseval's power theorem. So all these things we will see. Okay. Now this is a problem we will see according to time differentiation property. Okay, here actually we need to find the Fourier series for this particular signal. By observing this signal, we can tell it is the periodic signal. As I said previously, we can perform this problem, or we can solve this problem in two different ways. One is by using directly calculation of the Fourier series coefficient Cn using the basic formula. That formula is given by Cn is equal to 1 by t integral over 1 period, signal is f of t into e power minus jn omega naught t dt. So by using this formula we can calculate the exponential Fourier series coefficient. After calculating that one, exponential Fourier series is given by f of t is equal to sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity Cn e power jn omega naught t. So whatever the value we have calculated for Cn by using this formula, that value has to be substituted here. Then this entire equation will become the exponential Fourier series. This is one way. What is another way? We can use the time differentiation property. Apply the differentiation for this one. Because this is having ramps, you will get the steps. Ramp differentiation is step. Already we have seen that one. After that, for the steps, if you do the differentiation, because the steps are involving the discontinuities, if you do the differentiation for the steps, you will get the impulses. And we know for the impulse stream, what is the Fourier series coefficient, that is 1 by t. And if the impulses are shifted, we can able to use exponentials with respect to that particular shifting amount. That means we can use time differentiation property and time shifting property. By using these two properties of the Fourier series, we can able to solve this particular problem. And internally here we are using the linearity property also. So the solving of this problem is involving several properties of the Fourier series, like this particular linearity property, time shifting property, and the time differentiation property. By using all these properties, we can able to solve this particular problem. Already previously we have solved this type of the problem. Now we will see, we will take this particular triangle signal and then we will apply the time differentiation, time shifting, and linearity property to get the Fourier series for this one. Okay, that means to get the Fourier series coefficient at first. After getting the coefficient, if you substitute in this formula, you will get a exponential Fourier series expression for this particular signal. Okay. I will do first time differentiation of this one, d by dt of f of t, how this signal is available, that we will see. So here the point is given by, or here the point is given by minus t by 2, this is x coordinate, and y coordinate is given by minus a. This is the coordinate available at this point, and here the coordinate is given by 0 comma a, and here the coordinate is given by t by 2 comma minus a. In this way the coordinates are given. This particular straight line is having the coordinate minus t by 2 comma minus a, and this coordinate on this particular line is given by 0 comma a, and this line is having 2 points, one is this one, another one is this one, and this is having the coordinate 0 comma a, and this is having the coordinate t by 2 comma minus a. Since we have 2 points, we can calculate the line equation of this particular line, and we can calculate the line equation of this particular line. So slope is given by m1 is equal to, this is x1 y1, this is x2 y2, so y2 minus y1 by y2 minus y1, that is minus a, this is minus of minus a, that is minus 2a by minus t by 2 minus 0, that is minus t by 2, so this means 4a by t, 4a by t. The slope of this particular line is 4a by t, that is positive. That already we can able to tell because it is increasing, the amplitude of this particular line is increasing as time is increasing, so surely it will have the positive slope. Now we will see this particular line. This particular line is having 2 points, we know 2 points on this particular line, so we can calculate the slope for this one. I am telling that is m2. So y2 minus y1, anything you can able to calculate. Y2 minus y1 means you will get 2a by 0 minus 0 minus t by 2, that is minus t by 2, so it is equal to minus 4a by t. Okay, so this is slope 1, this is slope 2. If you have slope, we can able to calculate the line equation. So this is the slope. So we have 2 points on this one, and slope is also available. We can calculate the line equation of this particular line. Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So this is y minus, I am taking this point. So a is equal to slope is 4a by t, so x minus x1 is 0. So generally on y-axis what is there? On y-axis f of t is available, minus a, so it is equal to 4a by t, and x-axis means x coordinate is t, so it is equal to 4a by t into t. This minus a if you send to this side, so f of t is equal to, you will get 4a by capital T into small t plus a. So this is f of t when t is changing from minus t by 2 to 0. So this is the equation of the f of t when time is changing from t by 2 to 0. And similarly we can define f of t when time is changing from 0 to t by 2. It is having negative slope because amplitude is decreasing as time is increasing. So if you calculate also, you will get minus 4a by t into t plus a, like this you will get. Okay, so when t is equal to 0, what is the amplitude? A, so it will be valid. So this is the mathematical representation of the signal f of t over one period, that is from minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. From minus t by 2 to 0, it is having positive slope where the line equation is given by this particular line, this particular equation, that is 4a by capital T into t plus a, and the line equation for this particular line is given by minus 4a by t into t plus a, and this is valid with, sorry, కంటిన్యూ వస్తుంది ఇట్లా నేను ఏం చేయలేను అప్పుడు. When time is changing from 0 to t, this is the line equation. So now we will apply the differentiation property of this particular signal. So if you apply the differentiation, what you will get in front of t, what is this is a constant, so you will get the differentiation of f of t is, here I am writing d by dt of f of t is equal to 4a by t. Next plus a is a constant, differentiation is 0. Next d by dt of f of t, it is equal to minus 4a by t, and this slope is valid when minus t by 2 is less than t less than 0, and this slope is valid when 0 is less than t is less than t by 2. Okay, so these are constants, means steps we will get from minus t by 2 to 0 4a by t, and from 0 to t by 2 minus 4a by t. So we can able to draw the signal by having these values. So d by dt of f of t is given by minus t by 2 0 t by 2. If you have t by 2 here, you will get t. If you have t by 2, it is 3t by 2. T by 2 means 4t by 2 means it is 2t. It is minus t minus 3t by 2, like this we will get. And minus t by 2 to 0, it is 4a by t. After doing the differentiation, we got 4a by t, and 0 to t by 2 we got minus 4a by t. Next t by 2 to t, 4a by t, t to 3 by 2 minus 4a by t, like this we will get. This is one time differentiation we did. If you perform second time differentiation, that is d square f of t by dt square, you will get like this. From minus t by 2 to 0, here amplitude is 4a by t, that is the constant value. So if you do the differentiation for the constant, you will get 0. So this 0 is valid from minus t by 2 to 0. Exactly at t is equal to 0, what is happening means the amplitude is changing from 4a by t to minus 4a by t. So the change is minus 8a by t. So you will get here one impulse with the amplitude of minus 4a by t. And when t is changing from 0 to t by 2, amplitude is minus 4a by t, that is constant, and if you do the differentiation, you will get 0. And exactly at t is equal to capital T by 2, the amplitude is changing from minus 4a by t to plus 4a by t. The change is given by plus 8a by t. Destination minus source 4a by t minus 4a by t, that is 4a by t plus 4a by t, that is 8a by t. Next, when t is changing from capital T by 2 to capital T, the amplitude is 4a by t, that is constant. If you take the differentiation, you get 0. And exactly at t is equal to capital T, the amplitude is changing from 4a by t to minus 4a by t. So that is a discontinuity. If you do the differentiation, you should get impulse of strength is minus 8a by t. So in this way, you will have the impulses, and these impulses will be continue like this. This is the second time differentiation, and if you observe here, you have one impulse train above the x-axis and another impulse train below the x-axis. Okay, so now we can able to write the Fourier series coefficients for the impulse train which is above and below the x-axis. So I can write this d square f of t by dt square as the impulse train below the x-axis. I am writing at first, which is having the time period of capital T. So I will draw here for your convenience. I will take this signal as the sum of the two signals. This is minus 0 and t, next to 2t, and we have the impulse strain like this, minus 8A by T is the strength. Next it is minus T by 2, one impulse is there. Next T by 2, another impulse is there, and it is continuing like this. These impulses are also continuing. This is the impulse strain we have taken from below the x-axis. This is the impulse strain we have taken above the x-axis. If you add these two, you will get this one. That means linearity property also we are applying. Okay. Then we know for the impulse strain which is above the x-axis with the time period of capital T seconds which are available at small t is equal to 0, capital T, capital 2t, and left side minus capital T, minus capital T, like that. If the impulse strain is available with the strength of 1, the Fourier series coefficient is given by 1 by t. This one already we did previously. So for this type of signal, the Fourier series coefficient is given by 1 by t. This is the basic. Now for this signal, what is the coefficient? Because it is having negative side, minus will come. So this is having the coefficient minus because it is available below the x-axis, and this impulse strain is similar to this impulse strain only. So 1 by t is the coefficient, but its strength is not 1 here. It is 8A by t. So we need to multiply with 8A by t. So this is the Fourier series coefficient for this particular signal. Next, for this particular signal, what is the coefficient means? This is also impulse strain. That's why 1 by t will come above the x-axis. So plus will come. Next, here 0 is there. But 1 by t is available for this type of impulse strain where impulses are available at small t is equal to 0, capital T, capital 2t, like that. But here impulse is available at t by 2. That means the impulse which is available at t is equal to 0 is shifted to right side. That means a shifting operation is there. Time shifting will provide exponential term in the frequency domain. How much shift is there? Capital T by 2. So here shifting we have to indicate. So this is the coefficient for this particular impulse strain, and this is the coefficient for this particular impulse strain. And one more thing is here strength is 8A by T. So here also we have to write 8A by T. Okay. So in this way we got the two coefficients. We can add those two coefficients to have the total exponential Fourier series coefficient of this particular signal. So d square f of t by dt square is having the Fourier series coefficients now, these two, and in these two we can take 8A by t square as common. 8A by t square is the common. From here you will get minus 1, and from here you will get e power minus jn omega naught into t by 2. So this is the coefficient for d square f of t by dt square. We will solve this one now. So what is omega naught into t by 2? Omega naught into t by 2 is equal to, omega naught means we can write 2 pi by t. So t by 2, here 2 by t will be cancelled. Here you will get pi. So e power minus jn omega naught into t by 2 will become e power minus jn pi. Okay, it can be written as cos n pi minus j sin n pi, but sin n pi is 0, so it is simply equal to cos n pi. Cos n pi can be minus, can be 0, can be 1, can be minus 1, can be 1, can be minus 1. So this cos n pi we can write minus 1 whole to the power of n. If n is equal to 1, it will become minus 1. If n is equal to 2, it will become plus 1. If n is equal to 3, it will become minus 1. If n is equal to 4, it will become plus 1. So alternately it is changing in between 1 and minus 1. That's why we have written minus 1 whole to the power of n. So I am erasing that one. From this time onwards you have to remember that cos n pi is nothing but minus 1 whole to the power of n. So it is 8A by t square into minus 1 plus it is minus 1 whole to the power of n. In this way we got. Okay. Next, for example, if n is odd, it will become minus 1. Okay. Whenever it is minus 1 will be minus 2. So if you multiply 16 minus 16a by t square you will get. But if n is even, this will become 1. But here minus 1 is there, these two will be cancelled, so coefficient will become 0. Okay, so our coefficients, non-zero coefficient we will get for odd n only. Okay, so this d square f of t by dt square is having the coefficient minus 16a by t square when n is odd. Okay, that is the thing. But we need the coefficient for f of t, not for d square f of t by dt square. So according to the differentiation property, d square f of t by dt square is having the coefficient jn omega naught into cn. Jn omega naught square into cn, because 2 times differentiation is there, here square will come. Okay, so but according to this problem, we got the coefficient for d square f of t by dt square is having the coefficient is minus 16a by t square. So this is the coefficient from the formula and this is the coefficient from the calculation. So these two will be equal. So what we need to do, make these two are equal. So j square means minus 1, n square, omega naught square means 2 pi by t whole square. So 2 pi into 2 pi by t square into cn is equal to minus 16a by t square. Okay, so t square will be cancelled. Next 2 2s are 4, 4 4s are 16. So finally we will get minus will be cancelled. So cn is equal to 4a by pi square n square. So this is the coefficient we got, and this coefficient has to be substituted in the exponential Fourier series to have the exponential Fourier series expression for the given signal f of t. Okay, so what is the conclusion we can able to make means here ramp signal is there. That means triangle signal means in the mathematical equation of this particular ramp you will have t. Actually what we got, 4a by capital T into t. This is minus 4a by capital T into t plus a. In the previous expression also plus a we got. So whenever here ramp or t power 1 is there in the mathematical expression, in the f of t expression, if you have t power 1, its coefficient is having in terms of 1 by n square. If you have step signals or square signal if you take, that is t power 0, so cn is involving as 1 by n. Okay, like this you got. This is the conclusion we can able to tell. In this way we can able to find the Fourier series for the given signal. Okay, now that same conclusion here I have given for the impulse train, which is having the impulses at small t is equal to 0 and small t is equal to plus capital T, 2t, 3t and so on, and this side minus t, minus 2t, minus 3t, like this. If you have the impulse train, then its coefficient is given by 1 by t. If these impulses are shifted right side or left side by t by 2 seconds or 3t by 2 seconds, whatever it may be, if the shifting is available with respect to this particular impulse train, in addition to this 1 by t, in product we need to write here exponential term. So shifting in time domain will be equivalent to exponential. Next, here for this type of signal also we have done the Fourier series. So here it is the step. Okay, it is constant value. Here discontinuity is there. Again constant is there. Again discontinuity is there. So here this is constant means t power 0. T power 0 is 1. So some constant is there here. Okay. So whenever such type of signals you are dealing means this Cn will be equal to 1. Cn will be proportional to 1 by n. In the Cn equation you will see it is changing with respect to 1 by n. But here just now we have seen in our previous problem where triangle signal we have taken. If you see the mathematical expression for this ramps, you will get t power 1 4a by capital T into small t plus a. That means here it is related to t power 1 and it is also related to t power 1 only. So whenever it is related to t power 1, then the Cn will be having, Cn is proportional to 1 by n square. T power 0 1 by n, that means 1 by n power 1. Here t power 1 means n square. If it is t power k, here you will get n power k plus 1 you will get. T power 0, n power 1, here t power 1, it is n square. If it is t power 2, it is 1 by n cube. If it is t power k, it is 1 by n power k plus 1. Like that, the relation we can able to identify from all the previous problems what we have done. The conclusion is very important. Next, here one more problem we have taken. It is also ramp only. So surely we can able to tell that the Cn will be proportional to 1 by n square, because it is in terms of t power 1. So Cn will be proportional to 1 by modulus of n square. So with that conclusion we can able to identify the answers in the gate examination like that easily. Okay. So now again the same procedure. Why did I give this problem again means if you do the differentiation you will get the importance of this particular problem. So I am doing the differentiation. Before going to do the differentiation, first we need to have this line equation. So this line is from here to here, and this line is passing through the origin also. So 0, 0 is one of the point available on this line, and here the coordinates are given by minus t by 2 comma minus a. So this is one of the points. This is another point. So we can able to find the slope from this one. 0 minus a, 0 minus of minus a is a, by 0 minus of minus t by 2 is t by 2. That means 2a by t. Like this we will get. This is the slope, and line equation is given by y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So f of t is y means f of t, and it is 2a by t, and x variable is nothing but t. So this is the line equation when t is changing from minus t by 2 to plus t by 2. We have line equation. Now we can do the differentiation part now. So see here carefully, d by dt of f of t I am taking. So I am drawing the signal directly. See here, from minus, this is 0, this is minus t by 2, this is plus t by 2, this is t, this is 3t by 2, and this is minus t. Like this I am taking. From minus t by 2 to plus t by 2, what is happening? You see, it is having a ramp signal of the equation 2a by t into small t. So if you do the differentiation for this one, what you will get? 2a by t. 2a by t is a constant, so you will get like this. 2a by t you will get. Or without this, 2a by t you will get like this. Okay. Then exactly the t is equal to t by 2, what is happening? Exactly the t is equal to capital T by 2, what is happening is this is a discontinuity. This is a discontinuity available from a to minus a. So the discontinuity differentiation will be the impulse that already we know. So how much amount of strength will be available here for the impulse means minus 2a. Minus 2a is the strength. Again from t by 2 to 3 by t by 2, again the same equation is there with the same slope. So if you do the differentiation, you will get the constant value of minus 2a by t. But exactly at t is equal to 3t by 2, again discontinuity is there, so you will get one more impulse. So like this you will get. And at t is equal to minus t by 2 also discontinuity is there, because of the differentiation you will get minus 2a, but here you will get like this. So the differentiation of this particular signal, if you observe, one constant line also you are getting. One constant line and several impulses you are getting. All these impulses are below the x-axis shifted to right side by capital T by 2 in comparison with the standard impulse chain signal. So we can able to write now d by dt of f of t is equal to 2a by t. This is a constant value plus one impulse chain we can able to write impulse chain signal. That impulse chain signal I am writing here, drawing here. That impulse chain signal is available at t by 2, one impulse is there, 3t by 2, another impulse is there, and minus t by 2, another impulse. Like this many impulses are there. And we can tell that the impulses strength is minus 2a like this. And it is equal to now we can able to apply the Fourier series. So this is the constant value. We can tell it is constant value. So it is related to A naught or C naught. So we will calculate Cn, that's why it is C naught. So we can represent with C naught. This is the impulse train. If you observe, this impulse train is related to the standard impulse train, which is having the impulses at t is equal to 0, capital T, capital 2t, and this side minus capital T, minus 2t, and so on. Like this, impulses are there. So this is having the coefficient is 1 by t. You compare these two. These impulses are above the x-axis, but all these impulses are below the x-axis. So surely you will get for this one the coefficient is minus 1 by 2. Sorry, minus 1 by t. Because impulse train it is 1 by d. Because below the x-axis minus you will get. But these are the impulses are available at t is equal to 0, t, 2t like that. But here it is in place of availability of the 0, it is available at t by 2. That means it has been shifted to right side by t by 2 seconds. That means it will be having the exponential term. Time shifting will provide exponential term in the frequency domain. So e power minus j n omega naught into how much shift is there? Capital T by 2. And already we know that what is the value of the e power minus j n omega naught into t by 2, that is cos n pi, that is minus 1 whole power n. In previous problems already we did that one. Okay, so this is the coefficient value for this particular impulse train. Okay, this is the thing. Now what we need to do, we have here coefficient for d by dt into f of t. For this one the coefficient is given by C naught value plus Cn value. In this one we can tell where n is not equal to 0. Generally, we will represent with the d naught otherwise. For the f of t, if you represent Cn is the coefficient, for the d by dt into f of t, we will represent dn is the coefficient. Okay, for the f of t, if Cn is the coefficient, this is one signal. If you do the differentiation, you will get another signal. So this is having the coefficient is dn. But what we are doing, this dn we are splitting like this, d naught and dn where n is not equal to 0. Dn means n value should be changing from minus infinity to plus infinity, but whenever you are taking n is equal to 0, the coefficient is represented with d naught, and remaining all the times the coefficient is represented with dn only where n is not equal to 0. Okay, so dn plus d naught where dn means n is not equal to 0, because when n is equal to 0 the coefficient is already represented here. In a similar manner we have given here. Okay, so this d naught is nothing but what is the value? 2a by t, and dn is nothing but the coefficient value is given by this one, minus 1 by t minus 1 whole power n. Okay, that is the thing. Now because of this particular d by dt, we will get now differentiation property we have to apply. For f of t, actually Cn is the coefficient, then d by dt of f of t is having the coefficient Jn omega naught into Cn. In this way you can able to write. So whatever the coefficient we got now, that should be equated to Jn omega naught, because it is from the time differentiation property d by dt of f of t is having the coefficient Jn omega naught into C naught. Here from the calculation we got this is the coefficient, so this must be equal to Jn omega naught. You need to equate these two and you can able to find out the final Cn value. Okay, just by Jn omega naught we will get. According to that you can able to write the answer. Now whatever the conclusion I have given from the previous problem, that is given here. For example, C of t is having the coefficient is Cn. For g of t is having the coefficient is Cn. If something is added to Cn, something is from some DC value is added to that particular g of t, then there is no change in the Cn value. Okay, but the DC content will be affected. If you see Cn, where n is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity, including 0. But particularly when n is equal to 0, that C naught is said to be DC value. Okay, in many values of, in the infinite values of Cn, that means when n is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity, it is having C0, C1, C2 and so on, C minus 1, C minus 2, C minus 3 and so on. Like this, infinity number of coefficients are available, C0, C1, C2 and so on, C minus 1, C minus 2, C minus 3 and so on. Out of all these values, this C0 is called DC value. It is independent of frequency, but remaining all are dependent on the frequency. So this is independent of frequency, so this is the DC value. Okay, so in the general Cn value, we can have DC, we can have AC also. That means here n can be minus infinity to plus infinity. Here n is changing from minus infinity to plus infinity. All values are there for n, including 0. So that is for g of t signal. After that, for the g of t, if you add, for example, phi is the DC value is added to the g of t. Then what is the effect on the coefficients? That is the thing we are representing here. G of t is having the coefficient is Cn. What will happen to the coefficient of this g of t when you add a capital A? Some DC value like 2, 3, 4, 5, some number is added to this particular g of t. For example, g of t is the one signal, like this one signal is there, it is a periodic signal. Now, 5 plus g of t is available. How this signal will be there? It will be shifted to upside by 5 volts, whatever it may be. Here 5 I have given, so it will be shifted to upside by 5. That means only the DC value is added to this particular signal. There is no change in the frequency. Same frequency, same time period will be available. So where you will get the effect? Only DC content will be affected. So in all the coefficients, what is the DC? Only C0 is the DC. That's why only C0 will be affected. How much value you are adding to the total signal, same value will be added to the coefficient C0. But remaining all coefficients are same. That's why Cn only we have taken. Cn is the coefficient for g of t, and Cn is also the coefficient for the a plus g of t also, except only n is equal to 0. For n is equal to 0, the coefficient will be varied in comparison with the g of t. For the g of t, the coefficient is C0 when n is equal to 0, but the coefficient at n is equal to 0 for a plus g of t will be C0 plus a. This is the thing, because DC is added to the signal, the same DC will be represented in the coefficient C0 also. So a plus C0 will be the coefficient for the a plus g of t signal when n is equal to 0. In remaining for all the values of the n, Cn will be the same coefficient will be available. That is the thing. Okay. Now we will see the power involved in the signal f of t. From the trigonometric Fourier series, we can able to tell that one. So power means, already we know that f of t is the periodic signal. For the periodic signals only we can able to apply the Fourier series. So in our first unit we have seen, when we have given the time domain signal, we can able to calculate the power by using this particular formula. So power involved in the signal f of t is equal to limit capital T is tending to infinity 1 by t integral over one period. Power involved in the signal f of t is equal to limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral over one period modulus of f of t whole square into dt. Okay, this is the calculation of the power when you have time domain signal. Okay, f of t signal is there, and if you have the time domain expression for the f of t, then by using this particular formula you can able to calculate how much amount of power is involved in the signal f of t. If you don't have the f of t time domain expression, but if you have these coefficients a0, an and bn coefficients are there, then also you can able to calculate power involved in the f of t. Okay, that can be done by using this particular theorem, that is called Parseval's theorem. Parseval's power theorem. And now we will prove that one. How we have to prove that we will see. So this A0 is the DC content, DC value. How much power is available within that DC means DC square. DC value square if you take, then you will get power involved in that particular DC. And next, for example, A cos theta is there. What is the RMS value of this particular signal? A cos theta means A by root 2. This is the RMS value. A sin theta, what is the RMS value? A by root 2. These are the RMS values available in A cos theta and A sin theta. What is the power? Power means RMS square. That means power involved in this particular signal is RMS square, means A square by 2 you will get A square by 2, and power involved in the A sin theta is also A square by 2 only. That means peak value square by 2. Here also peak value square by 2. Like that we have to take. And if you see, if you may get one doubt. Here A cos theta is there. If you have A cos 2 theta, that is also the power is given by A square by 2 only. Power is depending upon the amplitude, not on the phase here. Okay. What is the peak value of A cos theta? A. What is the peak value of A cos 2 theta? That is also A only. Okay. So both are A, that means A square by 2 and A square by 2 only you will get. So with this knowledge, now we will find how much amount of power is available in our Fourier series expression. You see here, this f of t is having DC terms, AC term, AC term. So DC, if you square, you will get the power. So A naught square, so power we are getting plus. Because it is having infinity number of cosine terms, I am taking again sigma. N is from 1 to infinity. For example, an cos n omega t is there. Just now we have seen what is the power involved in this one. Peak value square by 2. That is an square by 2. Here also same thing. Bn sin n omega t. What is the peak value? Bn. So Bn square by 2. So this is the power involved in the signal f of t. F of t is nothing but A naught plus sigma n is from 1 to infinity an cos n omega naught t plus Bn sin n omega naught t. This is the time domain expression. Now we can able to get power involved in the signal f of t by using the coefficients only. Okay, without using the previous formula, that is limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral t modulus of f of t whole square into dt. Instead of using this particular formula to calculate the power, by using this formula also we can able to calculate the power. If you see the difference in between these two, this formula will give power involved in the signal f of t. This is also giving the power involved in the signal f of t only. But in order to apply this formula, you need a time domain signal. If you know f of t, then only you can able to calculate. Like f of t is equal to some time domain signal is required to calculate or to apply this particular formula. But in order to use this one, you no need any time domain signal. You need the coefficients involved in the Fourier series expression of the f of t. Okay, if you have a naught, an, bn, that is enough to calculate the power involved in the signal. So while doing the problems, they will give the coefficients for you, and you need to find the power involved in the signal f of t. So generally we will get this is the formula into our mind, but you need to remember this Parseval's power theorem also. Okay, then only you can able to do that particular problem. Now this is exponential Fourier series. Previously we have taken the power value. Okay, this particular power involved in the signal f of t we have taken according to the trigonometric Fourier series coefficients. Now we will take exponential Fourier series coefficients. So what is the power involved in the f of t signal? From the first unity equation we can able to tell limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral t f of t modulus of f of t whole square. Just substitute in this one. So limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral over 1 period modulus of f of t. So modulus sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity Cn e power jn omega naught t modulus is over square and dt, and it is equal to limit t tends to infinity 1 by t integral t modulus of e power j theta. Modulus of e power j theta is equal to modulus of cos theta plus j sin theta. It is equal to square root of cos square theta plus sin square theta, that is square root of 1, that is 1. So e power j theta, whatever it may be the angle, if you have modulus of e power j theta, that is equal to 1. Remember that one. So here integral. Now the remaining things are sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity, Cn square only you will get. Cn square dt. So in this way you will get. Here this entire term is independent of t. We are doing the integration with respect to t, but this entire term is independent of t, so we can write outside of the integral. So limit t is tending to infinity, 1 by t. This is sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity, modulus of Cn whole square integral dt. It is equal to limit t is tending to infinity, 1 by t sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity, modulus of Cn square integration of dt means t you will get if you substitute the limits over one period only we are doing, that means you will get capital T. This capital T, this capital T will be cancelled. So power involved in the signal will be equal to, this is the value we will get. So final equation I will write here. So power involved in the signal f of t is given by sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity, modulus of Cn whole square. This is the thing we will get. So using this Cn coefficient also we can able to calculate the power, or using the previous trigonometric Fourier series coefficients also we can able to calculate the power. A naught square plus sigma n is from 1 to infinity an square by 2 plus bn square by 2. By using this formula or time domain formula we can able to calculate the power. And this is the assignment question. Okay, see this assignment question carefully. Find the minimum number of harmonics to be considered in its Fourier series so that these considered harmonics contribute at least 90% of the total power. We know how to calculate the Fourier series for this one. First calculate Cn. Directly you can able to calculate or apply the time differentiation property, calculate the Cn value. Okay, and then get the f of t value. F of t is equal to sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity Cn e power jn omega naught into t. Okay, and generally you find a power involved in the signal f of t, or if you have Cn, you know now how to calculate the power. That is sigma n is from minus infinity to plus infinity, modulus of Cn square. Power is there, time domain expression total thing is there, that means Fourier series expression is there. This is the 100% of power. Okay, and in this one you will have the harmonics now. That means n omega naught is the harmonic. If you take n is equal to 1, that means omega naught is there, that is a fundamental frequency. N is equal to 2 omega naught, 3 omega naught, 4 omega naught, all those things are harmonics, integer multiples of the fundamental frequency. Up to what frequency you have to take, that means if you expand this one, it is C naught square, C1 square, and this side C minus 1 square plus C2 square. Up to what harmonics you need to take, how many terms you need to take here, it may be equal to 90% of the total power. For example, this entire power you are getting as 10 watts, it must be equal to 9. Okay, so how many terms you need to take here in order to equate that one to the 9 or 90% of the total power, that thing we have to take. If it is equal to 9 for this type of harmonics only up to 2, that means up to second harmonics we have to take, that is the answer. If you take up to C3, then third harmonics is required in order to have 90% of the total power. In this way you can able to solve this particular problem. Thank you.